Hi, hello, how are you? Good morning, happy Thursday. I am so exhausted. Being on my period just takes like all of the energy out of me. And then going to Disneyland and being there Tuesday, I walked 18,000 steps, something like that. And we were only there at noon. His sister and the rest of his family, they got there I think when the park opened, so I couldn't imagine if we had also been there for an additional 3 hours how much I would have walked. But like my hips are hurting so bad, and when I got home I had to massage my left leg for like 20 minutes because it was so tight, and I knew if I didn't I was going to wake up with a cramp in the middle of the night, because that's what happened when we were in Sicily, the night of our like first full day. So I'm so glad I did that and took ibuprofen, but like my hips still really hurt and I'm on my period still and like having really bad cramps. And I went to our storage unit yesterday. We're switching because in like September I went from paying $60 to $122 a month, which is just ridiculous. So we switched to one that's just down the street from us, which is super convenient because I feel like I can go there during lunch instead of having to wait until the end of the day to do things. But because I waited until yesterday to switch them, and my bill for the old one is due on the 1st, I have to be out today or they're going to charge me another $122 to keep it for the next month. So I went and got half of the stuff in there last night. It's in my car. I have to go drop it off at the new unit during lunch and then go after work to get the rest of the stuff, which I'm just going to leave in my car until tomorrow and Skylar can help me. But we have some wedding stuff in there, and one of the boxes, 3 of the boxes, they're just charger plates and they're really heavy, and I don't know what I was doing, but I went to go pick up like the last of them and wasn't paying attention, and I hurt my back. Something like tweaked, so I have to move like really slowly, and it's gonna be so like, I'm gonna make it even more painful. I know this. I'm gonna mess it up more, that's what I'm trying to say, when I go drop off all of the stuff and then have to go pick up more stuff. So I'm exhausted. I'm so tired right now, and I'm so ready to be off my period. But I'm also really glad that we're in cool weather now, because it means that I can just curl up on the couch under blankets and be cozy, because during the summer when I'm on my period, I can't do that. It's too hot and it makes me uncomfortable, and I just really love the cool weather. I think it's gonna rain today. Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot that it might rain. Oh, I hope it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't say that it is anymore, but I am making white chicken chili for dinner, which is one of my favorite meals. It's just so comforting and creamy and good. Reading wise, it's the 30th and I am 79 pages into Nightbirds. I'm supposed to be on page 479, something like that, tonight, in order to finish the book tonight, and that's not gonna happen. Being on my period, I've just been exhausted. I haven't been wanting to read. When I get into bed, I'm just too tired. I stayed out on the couch until 10 and read, but I only got like 45 pages, and then I was like, I'm so tired, my back hurts, I want to go lay down in bed. I'll read from there. I got into bed and I just laid on my side for a second. I was like, I'm just gonna lay here for a minute and like stretch out and hope my back feels better. And I woke up like 2 hours later with the lights and stuff still on. So I just turned everything off and went to sleep. I'm definitely not going to finish this month, but I am going to keep reading tonight and hope that I get to the point where it grabs my attention and I want to continue, and it'll be the first book that I finish next month. I think that I should have read it after I read Hotel Magnifique, because it has a much more similar vibe of just like fantasy and magic that's not like dark academia, and because I just read A Discovery of Wishes, that is what I'm wanting to read more of. I want more of that genre. So I should have read The Atlas Paradox and Discovery of Witches back to back, and then done Hotel Magnifique and The Nightbirds. So I will remember that for next month, but it's not what I'm craving to read right now. But I'm not going to let myself stop. I'm going to at least read another 50-60 pages tonight, hopefully, and it will grab my attention. So I'm just so tired. And this weekend is going to be long. Thankfully, I have off tomorrow. So at this point, I'm just rambling. I'm going to go. Oh, I still need to edit last week's video too. I don't want to get too far behind on that, but there's so much to do. Okay, I'm gonna go before I spiral. I will talk to you later. Hello, happy Friday. I'm off, so I'm not working at my desk, but my camera was already here and some of the things I want to show you, so I'm just filming from here. I have a migraine, and I have had a migraine since last Friday, and this is the longest that it's ever lasted. It's let up for like a few hours, but it just keeps coming back, and I am so miserable. I just went and ran some errands. I had to turn in our marriage license. It originally got like damaged in the mail, like got watermarks on it, so we had to get like a fresh copy and have our officiant sign it again, and sign some other paperwork, and I just dropped that off today. And then I went to Target to get a lighter, because I use it for crochet crafts, and I like having a long one, so when my candles get down low, I don't have to like hurt myself trying to light the candle. And I picked up food because I really need to eat, and I'm just gonna lay on the couch and do nothing and watch Gilmore Girls. I don't know if I've said that I'm watching that on here. I'm really enjoying it. I'm like 3/4 of the way through season 2. And it's just really like cozy and cute, and I'm really enjoying it. I did not finish Nightbirds yesterday. I really only read like 30 pages because my head was hurting, and I have a bunch of crochet gifts to work on for Christmas, so I'm having to prioritize that. And I just didn't read. I don't know if I'm going to keep reading it, like maybe try to read some today, but I need to start my TBR for December, which is what I wanted to show you. So the first book is Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco, and this is like a spin-off from Kingdom of the Wicked. That's the book in the first series, the first book in the other series. This is from Prince Envy's perspective. Yeah. And I'm really looking forward to it. It is huge. It's way bigger than the other books. But I'm really looking for, I'm so miserable. I'm so miserable. Oh my god. I'm really looking forward to reading this though, because I really liked Envy. He's one of the princes that does help Amelia as much as he can without kind of like breaking their rules and stuff. I really liked his character, so I'm looking forward to that. And then I'm going to read A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabaa Tahir. I really enjoyed the first 3 books. I just noticed I have like water damage or something on the front, like little spots. That's annoying. I loved the first 3 books. I love Elias and the characters, but I have these in paperback. So when the book came out, I waited a whole year to get this in paperback. I have stopped doing that. If I'm waiting for a book to come out in paperback, I just read it on like iBooks, and then when it's out, I pick it up, because I've had no motivation to read this because I read the last one almost 2 years ago now and don't really remember what happened. So I've stopped doing that, but this is what I'm going to be reading. Again, I can't remember the girl's name. I know we have Helene. It's like Leia or something. I know Elias. but I really enjoyed them and the world, so I'm going to be reading this. And then I'm going to try to, again, read Harrow the Ninth. I started reading this and was super confused because apparently at the end of Gideon the Ninth, Harrow's like memories are altered, and so she thinks that she did not go to space with Gideon. She thinks she went with somebody else who was originally supposed to be her cavalier, but who like fled, which is why she had to use Gideon. So when she is like speaking, it just really confused me because there's no indication that that is what is happening, that she doesn't have any memory. I had to go onto a Reddit thread and find that out. So I have to go back and restart. I was 100-ish pages in, but I really don't remember what happened previously, so I might just restart it over, but this is next. And then Aurora Rising and Aurora Burning. I read this, I listened to it on audiobook at work one day. I listened to the whole thing in one day and it was so good, and I listened to it on Audible. So I bought it with my credit, which means I should still have the audiobook. So I think I'm going to sign into my Audible book or my Audible account and listen to it while I read this. Again, I just read it so long ago, and I don't think Aurora Burning was even out at the time, or close to being out, so I don't really remember what happened. But once I finish that, I'm going to read Aurora Burning, and I have considered picking up the third book. I have a lot of series where I'm like 2 or 3 books in and I just haven't finished it, but I have other books that I bought that I need to keep reading. It's just me being kind of weird about purchasing books, but I'm gonna go. My head is killing me. I'm gonna eat and drink lots of water, and hopefully by the time Skylar wakes up I will feel better, because we have a couple things to do and I just don't want to feel shitty for the whole day. So I'll update you later on whether I'm continuing to read Nightbirds or where I am in Throne of the Fallen. Good morning, happy Monday. Again, I feel like it's always Monday. It's never always Friday or always Saturday, but I'm working from the couch. It was really cold when I got up this morning, and honestly, I just like working from the couch. That's what I prefer. I'm sorry if you can hear any noise in the background. My neighbors are getting their roof redone, so there's like a ton of noise going on, and it's driving all of the dogs in our neighborhood crazy. I think almost every single person on our street owns a dog, and they have just been barking nonstop, especially my neighbor on this side, Gordon. His little chihuahua, Hazel, just loses her mind over everything, and I've heard him all morning just being like, Hazel, please, please, Hazel. It's hilarious, but currently I'm working. I have some errands to run during lunch. I need to go drop off our rent check, pick up some like emergency for Skylar, who is, I think, getting sick again, working nights. He has gotten sick like 5 times already this year, and it's nothing serious. It's just like 1 or 2 days where he's got a fever and he's really, really achy, and I really think that it's just his body's way of being like, we're shutting down, you're sleeping for 20 hours. They're working 60-hour weeks right now, so they're working 5 days, Sunday to Thursday, 12-hour shifts. He leaves at like 3:30 to go into work, and he gets home at like 4:20, 4:30. I barely see him, and then on the days when he is home, he slept last Friday until 5 o'clock. I tried to let him sleep as late as possible, but I was really, really worried about him sleeping much later and then staying up until like 9 a.m. and then sleeping even later the next day. So I woke him up and I'm like, you have 15 minutes left with the sun, first of all, if you want to come sit in the living room and enjoy that. But we had a couple things to do, and everything's so rushed because I'm like, I go to bed at like 9:30, 10, so we get like 5 hours on Friday and Saturday together, which just really sucks. But he said he wasn't feeling well. My throat has been bothering me all morning. I hope we're not getting sick. He is just getting over being like really sick, not super sick, but he had a double ear infection and his ears were plugged for like a whole month, and he was just miserable, and I don't want that to happen again. But I'm gonna go get something for him during my lunch to hopefully make him feel better, and I'm gonna go pick up a mango black tea from Dutch Bros. They just opened one up by us in August. and that was the first thing I got, and I'm obsessed with it. I love just like a sweet tea, and I love the like fruity of a mango, and I'm just really craving that right now. But reading wise, I am in the middle of Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. I have put the Nightbirds aside. It is right in front of me, and I might try to pick it up and read a little bit more here and there. Maybe if I finish this early, I will try to pick it up. We shall see. But I am 130 pages in. I'm already really enjoying it. I love Envy. I love this world of the like 7 Princes of Hell, and so this is a continuation. This is not during the first 3 books for the Wicked Kingdom. Kingdom of the Wicked. I think Wicked Kingdom is... The Wicked King is by Holly Black. I am getting my titles mixed up, but this is after Amelia and... Oh, I can't remember his name. Wrath. After they get married and their like curse is broken, Envy gets invited to play this game, and there's like alluding that he played a game hundreds of years ago and he lost something very precious to him that is weakening his kingdom, and now the game has begun again, and he has completed the first 2 trials, and he's on the 3rd one, and he had to like unscramble this clue that told him Camilla Eloise, I think, which happens to be the name of a painter in Waverly Green. So he seeks her out, and he needs her to paint the Wicked Throne, the Cursed Throne, something like that, the Hexed Throne. And he thinks that she's just gonna fall over herself and obviously agree to do whatever he wants because that's what he's used to, and she is like, no, I'm not going to paint that. I know what that is. My parents have spent their entire lives telling me not to paint that. And he is just floored, and one of his brothers comes out and he's like, I told you that you needed to seduce her. You should have listened to me and lust. And he decides seduction is the way he's going to go with his next try, and that's not working either. And finally his 3rd try, because he only has 3 tries. If he cannot convince her to do it in 3 tries, he loses the game. He is kicked out. On the 3rd try, he convinces her because he finds out that she is painting he's painting forgeries of famous paintings for this guy that lives there called Vexley. And this guy Vexley, is holding this over her head. He has one of her forgeries in his possession, and he is forcing her to paint more forgeries and telling her, if you don't, then I'm going to expose you as a scam artist. And it turns out he's also stolen a portal key. So that her father was obsessed with all things fae. Her mom used to tell them stories all the time about it, and she was very accurate about her description of the like realm where the 7 princes live, and I have a feeling she's been there and she just skipped town, and I also have a feeling that she's maybe back in that realm and that she possibly has something to do with Envy. He mentions having previously fallen in love with a human and how it was terrible for him, and he's definitely not going to do it again. But when Envy finds out, he steals the painting from Vexley and tells Camilla, I will give this back to you after you paint the Hexed Throne for me. You won't have to worry about Vexley anymore. I will tell him to leave you alone because Vexley has just come to Camilla's studio and threatened her, which Envy was not happy about. Clearly they were going to fall for each other. I love that. Especially considering, I'm sorry again if there are so many cuts to this, my throat is really bothering me and I'm having to like swallow a lot and I cannot stop yawning, but I love when someone is like, I'm swearing off of this type of person, and then that's the type of person that they fall for. I love that sort of like enemies to lovers trope, but that's where I am. I'm 130 pages in, which I'm like a day behind. I only read like 30 pages the first night and then only like 40 pages the second night. Last night I think I read maybe like 60 pages, but I'm supposed to be reading 82 a day, so I need to catch up. I'm supposed to be on page 246. This clip is forever long, so I'm going to go and I will update you guys later. Hello, happy Thursday. I am working from my desk. I just had a meeting. I had 2 meetings this morning, one at 9 and one at 10. I'm just going to continue working from my desk. Sometimes I feel bad for working from the couch so much, especially the last couple of weeks. because I'm just on the couch all the time and there's no like differentiation between like when I'm working and when I'm not now. So I'm gonna try to work at my desk a little bit more, or at least in the afternoon, so I have like a breakup. But I'm working, finished my meetings. While I was working on my meeting, I was working on another cowl. I fully finished the green one. The gray one is almost completely finished. I think I need to do a few more rows, but I ran out of the gray. So I need to go pick up some more, but I'm gonna wait until this weekend just because I really don't like going out after work at this time of year when it's dark. I just get really uncomfortable, so I just had bought all of the yarn that I needed for most of them, so I'm gonna go. I do think this means that I'm gonna need more of the tan, so I'm just gonna keep working on what I have, and I will go pick up more yarn like this weekend. I'm also working on a cup order. This is my most popular cup. It is Kuchi Kopi from Bob's Burgers. It's a toy that Louise has, so this is like how he's supposed to look normally, and then this is how he looks after he gets melted in one of the episodes. The mom Linda drops him in the toilet and he gets a bunch of water in him, and they're like, we'll put him in the oven and it'll dry him out, and he gets all melty. So this is good Kuchi Kopi and bad Kuchi Kopi, and it glows in the dark. I have glow in the dark mica powder here, and he glows in the dark. I actually have a Kuchi Kopi that Skylar got me for Christmas a couple years ago. But this is my most popular cup. I sell a bunch of these, so this order is going out today, and I just love the glitter. It's so beautiful. And I love Bob's Burgers. Reading wise, I am 412 pages in. I'm supposed to be 492, and I'm supposed to be finishing the book tonight, I think. Yes, I'm supposed to be finishing it tonight, which I do think is doable if I sit down and start reading like around 8. And it's just when you get to those last like 100 pages, you have to keep going. Even if you're only reading 82 pages or whatever, I just can't leave 50 pages. Like, unless I am absolutely exhausted, I have to keep going, and I am just really enjoying it. I could read, so there's 3 books in the Kingdom of the Wicked series, and that is all about Wrath and Amelia. This is about Envy and Camilla, and I just want trilogies on all 7 brothers. We are getting to see more of Sloth in this. He is an academic, and he's not about laziness. He's about like leisure and being methodical and calculated, which is different than he lets himself be portrayed. He lets people think that he's lazy, that he doesn't care, he just wants to be at home, but really he wants to be underestimated so that he can study people and get to know who they are and break them down. And I think that that might make him more cunning and clever than his brothers. So in this, Envy he lost a game to the Unseelie King decades ago, and it has weakened his court, and now the game is being played again, and he wants to win back whatever it is that he lost in order to save his court. And he meets this artist who needs to draw something for him, and he realizes that she is no regular artist. It's just been revealed that she is Fae, which is part of why she's immune to the influences of Envy and his brothers and to the Sin Corridor. Sorry, there's just a random, I don't think he's random. I think that's the guy who lives in the house like behind our alley. My neighbors are working on their roof, and it's fine for me, but they're working on it during the day, and so Skylar has been sleeping and not sleeping very well, and I just feel really bad. But they also let a ton of debris get into our backyard, like nails and stuff, so I'm annoyed with that. But book-wise, Envy and Camilla are having to team up together, and they just have the most secrets. She has not told him that she is Fae, but he has just discovered, I think he just discovered that she's Seelie, and that she is at least a century old. So he is slowly learning who she is and why she's possibly connected to this game, and so is she. And I don't really like romance books, I don't like the like slowness of them, I guess, and that when you read romance, because you know it's in the romance category, they're gonna get together. So I just don't feel like it's as enticing for me to read it, and I don't like, and I know that the genre has changed, but I just have like Fabio in my head all the time when I think about romance books, and I'm just not interested in it. But this, like an enemies to lovers, the teasing, tantalizing, I absolutely love. I love Envy and Camilla, and I just want more. I hope that this isn't the only book in this series, but when I look at it on Goodreads, it doesn't say that it's part of a series, so that might be why this is so large, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm hoping to finish it tonight and then move on. I'm considering getting my Scribed subscription back or my Spotify one. I'm not sure. I don't think Spotify is worth it. You only get 15 hours. And I'm trying to listen to playlists while I read, and I'm getting so many ads. It's driving me crazy. So I need something. Audible's too expensive and it's not enough books. Spotify isn't enough books. I think I'm going to go back to Scribe, but I'm going to get back to work and I will update you when I have finished Throne of the Fallen. Hello, happy Friday. I'm so glad that it's Friday, although I haven't had to work a Friday in like a month and a half, just from like taking time off for the wedding, going on our honeymoon, and then the holidays. So this is the first Friday I've had to work, and my job is actually considering switching to 410s, so I wouldn't be off work until 6, but it's just another hour. It's not really that big of a deal. And then I would have every Friday off. So I would always have a 3-day weekend, which I am really looking forward to. I'm in like a group chat with a bunch of the other CSTs that do my job but for other units. And we were all like, you're gonna vote yes for this, right? Like, you're in agreement with 410. So we were all like, yes, absolutely. I'm still gonna stop working at 5. But yes, I will be off at 6 now. So really looking forward to that. Last night I did finish Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco, and I absolutely loved it. I posted a picture and she liked it, which was exciting. I feel like that's always exciting to me, no matter how many times an author likes my pictures or comments or responds back to me. But I really loved it. I love Envy and Camilla. I love that we also get to see Wrath and Amelia a little bit and go visit them, and in the end, we find out that Camilla is the daughter of the Unseelie King. She's one of the Unseelie court princesses, and Envy is so betrayed that she is the daughter of his enemy, of the man who was ruining his court. But he does forgive her because he realizes he didn't want to share with her. So why should she have wanted to share with him? And right before they get taken to the Unseelie court, she does try to tell him, but they are running out of time and she doesn't get to. And at first he leaves her there. He's like, I've got my prize, I'm leaving. And the Unseelie King, Lennox, traps her in a cage. And Envy does free her before he leaves, but he still leaves. And then he gets a notice from, so they kill the Unseelie King. I'm all over the place. He frees Camilla, they kill the Unseelie King, and then he leaves. And Camilla and her brother Aiden are trying to restore their kingdom. Aiden's going to take over, and she's just decided she's going to move on. Days pass a lot quicker in Fairy, so I don't know how long Envy is gone, but it's been a while for her. And then Envy gets a note from one of his spies that somebody is going to attempt an assassination on Camilla, and it's one of her other brothers, Onyx. And so Envy shows up and he's covered in blood, and she's like, what did you do? Well, I heard that there was going to be an assassination attempt on you, so I stopped that. And she's like, you killed my brother? And he's like, no, I didn't. He's just caged. It's fine. And then she starts like apologizing, and they kind of hash it out, and he's like, well, if there's anything of, you know, emotional significance, grab it. And she's like, what? And he reaches for her, and he's sentimental value is what he says. He reaches for her and he says, I have my thing of sentimental value. And he's like, you're coming back with me. and she agrees, and they go, and I just love them. They like end the story with all of them at an engagement party, and I think we are going to get the next book for Pride. It like leads with him. There was like a little bit of Pride story sprinkled in Kingdom of the Wicked, where he fell in love with the first witch's daughter, Lucia, and after they got married, she was stolen away from him, and it was centuries ago, and he has not heard from her, but he knows that her mother, Circea, knows where she is, and Envy's spies find a clue, and she's actually on the Vanishing Isles. I think that's what it is. No. She is where Amelia was from. So Pride is going to go get her, and I just hope that that is the next book. Like I said, I want a book for each brother. Truly, even if they don't all end up with someone, I just want a book from each brother's perspective. I love all of them. So I actually ended up finishing this around like 6 o'clock. The last like hour of the day I didn't have anything to do. So I just sat down to read and ended up finishing this really early. So that meant that I finished on time, and I could have just waited until the next day, but I decided to start A Sky Beyond the Storm. So I'm 50 pages ahead. I read 50 pages. I really need to be better about reading books when they come out, or like continuing with a series. It's difficult when I have so many books on my shelves and I'm like, I'm not gonna buy anything else, and then I read something and I'm like, oh, I want to read the second. Like A Discovery of Witches. I read A Discovery of Witches, and I don't want to wait too long to read the second book. Skylar did buy it for me last weekend when we were at Barnes & Noble. We were at Spectrum next door, and we were like getting ready to leave, and he was like, I'll buy you a book, and I was like, okay, absolutely. So I got what is it? Shadow of Night. That's the second book, and I want to read that in January. And like make a list of all of the series that I'm in the middle of and finish them. That's gonna be my big goal for next year, finishing the series, because I just don't really remember what happened in the third book. I'm getting like flashes of it back, but I don't remember too much. So I'm considering trying to look up some like summaries, or maybe going back and rereading the last few pages, but I'm already 50 pages in. I don't know how far I need to be in tonight. Oh, it's in the front actually. I need to be 95 pages in tonight. And I'm already 50, so I only have to read 45, which is good because I don't read that much on the weekends. When Skylar's home, I just want to spend time with him. But I only have to read 45 pages tonight, so I can definitely do that, and maybe a little more, just to stay like a tiny bit ahead. Just to be safe. So I am going to end this here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below, tell me how your December is going. How many Christmases do you celebrate? We do 3. We do one Christmas Eve with his family, but like his extended family. We used to do it at his grandma's house, but now we do it at his mom's, and we just FaceTime with his family and do our Secret Santa gifts with them. And then we stay the night, and Christmas morning we open gifts with his parents and his sister and her husband, and now Sunday. And then we leave around 10 and go to my Nana's house and do Christmas with them. So in total it's 3. Now we only have to travel 2 places, which is nice, but it is 3 Christmases in total, and it's a lot. And his aunt and uncle invited us up to their house, which is like an hour away, at noon, but we're definitely not gonna be able to make that one. I feel bad every year that we don't go, but we do Christmas with my family at 10, and we're just not gonna be done in time to drive an hour up there. At the earliest, we could get there at 1, maybe 2 o'clock. So that is our plans for Christmas. Let me know what yours are, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye!